Today, it is hard for us to find one true Vidura among our leaders. It is hard for us to imagine such an enlightened being, and even harder for us to aim for such enlightenment. More discouraging still is the quality of public life today, the low level of discourse, and the presence of so much ego, anger, greed, jealousy, spite, cruelty, lust, fear, anxiety, and turmoil. I felt a new determination dawning inside me. In this, my most important decision, I decided to help discover the nature of India's true self in its children. My own work and indeed I as a person were relegated to the background. My scientific career, my teams, my awards, all this became secondary. I wanted instead to be a part of the eternal intelligence that is India. I hope to transcend myself and discover the inner higher self that is in us through my interaction with joyous children. A man is said to pass through different stages in his lifetime. Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, in his book Manifest Your Destiny, makes an interesting categorization of them as athlete stage, warrior stage, state person stage, and spirit stage. It occurred to me that nations too make a similar transition and is extending this analogy to them. I have termed the last two stages Big Brother and self realization stages respectively. The stages do not follow in sequence necessarily, they can be coexistent with one aspect dominant. In the first athlete stage, a nation fresh from an independent struggle or some other transition embarks on an energetic pursuit of performance and achievement. This has happened in Japan, Singapore, and Malaysia. When a nation leaves this stage behind, it generally enters the warrior stage. Proud of its achievement, it finds way to demonstrate its superiority over others. Perhaps through conquest, ego is the driving force. During this stage, people are busy with goals and achievements in competitions with others, and this, as Dyer points out, for the individual generates anxiety. Convincing others of its superiority becomes the theme. In the next Big Brother stage, the ego has been tamed somewhat, and with its newfound maturity, awareness shifts to what is important to other nations and societies. In the Big Brother stage, the nation is still an achiever but is not so obsessed with proving its strength. The idea is to help others become better. The erstwhile Soviet Union, by its developmental role in some countries, had adopted this role. As with the individual, so too with the nation. The transition from the warrior stage to the Big Brother stage is a rewarding but difficult exercise. There is one stage even higher than this Big Brother stage. In this, a nation recognizes its truest essence. It comes out of the wisdom that the earth is no single nation's inheritance but of all, and its people are aware of the responsibility of the individuals towards its fellow human beings. This can be called the realization stage, and India may have the potential to achieve it. In my working career of 43 years, I have changed my tasks in several institutions. Change is crucial. It brings new thoughts. New thoughts leads to innovative actions. On 15th August 2001, I took a decision to go for another change. I mentioned my intention to Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who asked me to rethink. I had spoken to him of my desire to be relieved on a few earlier occasions too, but he advised me to continue and prevailed. And it prevailed. As a rocket man, too, I worked with stages. Each stage is jettisoned after taking the rocket further along its intended trajectory. I worked with the Indian Space Research Organization during 63 to 82. In 1980, India launched its first satellite launch vehicle successfully that put the Rohini satellite into orbit and became a member of the exclusive Space Club. I headed the team as project director of the mission for SLV 3. Our success in this effort gave the nation satellite launch vehicle technology and expertise in control, guidance, propulsion, and aerodynamics, besides the ability to design various rocket systems. Above all, this project enriched the organization with enhanced capabilities in design, development, and management systems, integrating inputs from different institutions such as R&D laboratories, industry, and academy. And the program also gave leaders in technology and management. Today, they are all working in various space and defense programs. This is my first stage, in which I learned leadership from three great teachers, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Professor Satish Dhawan, and Dr. Brahma Prakash. This was the time of learning acquisition of knowledge for me. The second stage could then be from 1982 in the Defense Research and Development Organization. Again, it was teamwork against the background of denial of technology through the instruments of the Missile Technology Control Regime and the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. I had the opportunity to work with teams and DRDO labs that led to the design, development, production, and operationalization of two strategic missiles. These types of strategic missiles will not be available to India from any country, no matter how friendly our relations with it. During this period, three new laboratories and facilities, one in the area of missile technology called Research Center Imarat at Hyderabad, and two other missile test centers, one on the mainland and the other on an island near Chandipur on the coast of Bay of Bengal, were born with excellent capabilities. In addition, the nation became strong as capabilities in critical technologies emerged from laboratories and academic institutions that helped us overcome the constraints of MTCR. My team would design and develop my type of missile system, including the intercontinental ballistic missile. During this stage, I had gone through many successes and many failures. I learned from failures and hardened myself with courage to face them. This was my second stage, which taught me the crucial lesson of managing failures. The third stage can be the participation in India's missile to become a nuclear weapon state with a great partnership between the Department of Atomic Energy, DAE, and the DRDO with the support of the armed forces. This was a mission well accomplished. However, when children ask me what has given you happiness in your life in the last 40 years, I say I get happiness when heart patients carry KR coronary stent in their arteries, and when the physically handicapped children fitted with the lightweight flow reaction or orthosis FRO calipers find their difficulties eased somewhat. Both of these came as spin offs from missile technologies. During this stage, I held the position of chairman of the Technology Information Forecasting and Assessment Council (TIFAC) under the Department of Science and Technology for nearly two tenures, about 8 years. This period saw the creation of Technology Vision 2020 based on the work of task teams consisting of 500 experts in all who had available to them input from 5,000 scientists and technologists from different fields. Later, Later, the technology vision document and the national security aspects got integrated and the Indian Millennium Mission emerged. When I took over as principal scientific advisor to the Government of India in November 1999, the task was to do detailing and evolve a working plan for IMM 2020. It is indeed a roadmap for transforming India into a developed country, the second vision of the nation. Certain experimental work on education, agriculture, and also development of a number of villages in an integrated way is currently progressive. A cabinet paper on the subject has been moved for approval of the government. During this third stage, it was building technology strength with institutional partnership, adapting technology to societal needs, and formulating the vision for the nation that occupied me. The helicopter mishap of 30th September 2001 made me realize that the time to jettison the third stage had arrived. This thought was further reinforced on 2nd October, the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, when I visited Mata Amritanandamayi's ashram at Kollam in Kerala. She emphasized the need to integrate spirituality with education to create a new generation of leaders and entrepreneurs. On 12th October 2001, 3 days before I could complete my 70th orbit around the sun, I formally wrote to the Prime Minister about my decision to retire and requested to be relieved in a month's time. He relented this time, and I prevailed. Meanwhile, I keep visiting schools. During my visits to many states, particularly two of the northeastern states, Assam and Tripura and Jharkhand, and also a few places in Tamil Nadu, I have addressed thousands of students, about 40,000 at last count. I have found that I communicate well with this age group. I share their imagination. Most important, through my interaction with them, I feel I can ignite in their minds a love for science, through it a sense of mission for achieving a developed India. Will this be my fourth stage? Shall I be successful? I really don't know. But what I do know is that there is no greater power in heaven or on earth than the commitment to a dream. Dreams hold something of that energy which lies at the heart of all things and are the binding force that brings the spiritual and the material together. It has been in my mind for the past few years to undertake research and teaching. For this purpose, combined with my desire to find time to meet school children, I have shifted to Anna University, my alma mater. What a great feeling it is to be among young people, bubbling with creativity and enthusiasm. What a great responsibility the elders of this country have at hand to guide this tremendous energy in a constructive way for nation building. How can we make up for missed opportunity and the failure of the past? Summary. Spirituality can be integrated with education. Self-realization is the focus. Each one of us must become aware of our higher self. We are links of a great past to a grand future. We should ignite our dormant inner energy and let it guide our lives. The radiance of such minds embarked on constructive endeavor will bring peace, prosperity, and bliss to this nation. So, one thing is that in this chapter, it starts with okay, let's go start with the topic. The topic itself says it's about dream. Okay, what dream? Not only the dream that Abdul Kalam got um, while he was under medication. It's not about just that dream, but it is also talking about the dream that a person should possess to achieve something in life. A person must have to achieve something in life. How will that work? Once you dream, then you will work towards it, and that is the connection between spirituality and material world. So you have to follow your dream and try and achieve it. Who will achieve? Mostly only people who are ignited minds, who have the drive in them, who want to achieve, who are ready to work hard. They are the ones who will achieve their dreams. So Abdul Kalam says every one of us should have a dream, and everyone must know they will be able to achieve their dream. And when that becomes like that, then there will be good things happening, not only in the for the person generally, personally, but also for the nation as a whole. So dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. So what did he dream when he was sedated with some medication? Some few people, very important people, 5 men, they appeared in his dream. Where in a desert, they were all in a desert. Who were these 5 people? Mahatma Gandhi, Albert Einstein, Emperor Ashoka, Abraham Lincoln, and Caliph Omar. Okay, they all stood around him in a circle. You know, Mahatma Gandhi fought for our freedom. He fought for equality. He fought for, no, he said that we should not be like slaves. Everybody should have independence. Those were his thoughts. Albert Einstein, what did he do? We'll come to that. Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka, that Kalinga war where so many lives were lost. After seeing all that dead people, he transformed. He became a person, Buddha's follower. He said, what was his final thought about life, about everything, was that a peaceful nation should be the highest victory, not killing others and trying to invade other nations and making it part of a kingdom is not victory, but to have a peaceful nation, that is actual victory. Abraham Lincoln, he fought against slavery in America for the blacks, and then they got freedom. Okay, they got independence, freedom from that second-rate citizens. Caliph Omar, he was spreading religion, but he will come to those two things. Albert Einstein first we will see. Okay, Caliph Omar, what did he learn? After entering Jerusalem, that all men are equal, there is no point in forcing others to follow your path. You will get only that which is ordained for you. God alone is sovereign. No religion is sovereign, but God is sovereign. That is what Caliph Omar finally understood. Until that, he was trying to spread his religion. Never saw his position in terms of special privilege that it was. To him, government was a sacred trust, and he did his best not to betray the trust in any way. Okay, Einstein. It was Einstein's turn. I would like to recall my friend Werner Hessingberg. You know, in the West, we have built a large, beautiful ship. Okay, it has all the comforts, but one thing is missing. It has no compass, doesn't know where to go, direction. Okay, so he said he will lend direction from Tagore and Gandhi and their spiritual forbearance found the compass. Why can this compass not be put in the human ships so that both can realize their purpose? Okay, so Einstein says in America and all, wherever he lived, he has all the comforts in life. He has found out through scientific method how to live a comfortable life. But then that man who is using all the comfort doesn't know where he is headed, how to find out, because he doesn't have a compass in him to direct him how he should grow, not only comfort wise, not only materialistic wise, but also spiritual wise. Spirituality should dominate, and it must take over and decide where he should. So for that he is telling he'll take the help of Tagore and Gandhi from India to direct people how to lead their life even after having all these comforts, where they must move to. That's no different levels of achievement is there. No, what food needs, after that comfort needs, after that ego needs, after that finally what is the need, being good to the whole world and society, and doing something which is of which will create a difference, which will make a difference. His life will make a difference to this world. Okay, like that kind of that hierarchy of achievement goals, like that. To achieve the final goal, it is to get directed in the right direction. Here, Einstein is saying that he must use the compass which Gandhi and Tagore and all have found. Abraham Lincoln, the great American leader, fought against slavery. Okay. Caliph Omar learned that after entering Jerusalem, that there is no religion is greater than the other, but God is great. God, any religion you take, finally everything is God only. So you should not force others to convert. Okay. Then before that, what did Gandhiji say? Okay, Gandhi, what he propounded was that in India, how we people are different. We have different race, different religions, we have different languages, we have Aryan race, we have this South Indian Dravidian race, then we have different religions, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, all this Isai, all that. Languages, we have many languages, Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, so many languages, but we all are living peacefully and prosperously together. They have all blessed us. God has blessed us with something unique that we pass on to mankind through our deeds and efforts. Is that work? Is there a divine message or doctrine? Beauty. Divine beauty should enter the human soul and happiness blossom in the body and mind. Is it possible? Divine beauty should enter the human soul and happiness blossom in the body and mind. That was Gandhiji's thoughts, which he shared in Kalam's dreams. Okay, then perhaps there is no such conflict between people and nation because of its pursuit of prosperity and power to have lost. Recall sage Ashtavakra, who propounded, "O my son, your very consciousness within which arises the phenomenal universe, it is not separate from what you are. How can there be a question of anything being acceptable or unacceptable? Let the business of life be peace and prosperity and not exploitation and conflict. No exploitation, no conflict, all are equal, whether you're black or a white, whether you're any race, any religion, any language you speak. My final thing should be that there is no question of acceptable, unacceptable. Finally, the consciousness which arises phenomena universe, not to separate one from other. Sage Ashtavakra. Okay. There is that is not separate from what you are. The universe is not separate from what you are. You are the universe and universe is you. This is our message to the planet. So, what after this dream, after learning many lessons from these great people who lived at different times through the history, he had recalled all this in his dream. So, when he got up, he was sipping his tea and he was thinking what I must be doing. So, he says, though we have these many good thoughts in our history, we have seen so many good things, still, what is happening is there is lot of cruelty in the world, like Israel Palestine conflict, Bosnia conflict, then we have this Bhopal gas tragedy, then we have 13 December parliament attack by the terrorists. Like these things are happening, still happening, all such things are happening. So then he writes a poem. The poem what he writes is that human race is God's best creation. And why that human race will never get completely vanished. It will live and live forever. And it will give and give and give, and they'll remain united in happiness and pain. Through this, bliss will be born. Love is a continuum. Love is like a scale. It will move. It's a big. It's a period. It's like a period. Huh? That is the mission of humanity. Mission of humanity is to love. Okay. You will see every day in the life tree. What you will see every day in the life tree? Love. You learn and my best of creation. So when you, through this continuum, when you pass, sometimes love will be in the extreme, very much love. Sometimes it will come down, love will be less, but still it is a continuum of love. Bliss will be born when you try to realize you are united in happiness and pain. Okay, so mission of humanity, you will see every day in the life tree. You will see every day what? You will see love every day. And when you see this, you will learn and learn. See, sometimes in happiness, you will have more love. In pain, you will have little love. Somebody doesn't love more in pain. That's why he's creating all these terrorist attacks, conflicts, and that and this. So what is happening with humanity, whether you're this side of the continuum or the other side of the continuum, you are still learning. You're learning that it is better to love more than to cause pain to others. So because you are God's best creation. Okay, this is what he wrote down as a poem at that time, after pondering over the dream. Okay. Then one child asks him, who is the best favorite character from Mahabharata? And according to Dr. Abdul Kalam, it is Vidura. Because he was very enlightened. Such a person like Vidura is not found in today's leaders. Such characters are not found in today's leaders, but actually they have very low level characters. Like, they have ego, anger, greed, jealousy, spite, cruelty, lust, fear, anxiety, and turmoil. All such characters are there among our leaders instead of being like Vidura. That's what. He did not surrender himself under the tyranny of adharma. That's why he likes Vidura. Vidura showed grit against wrongdoings of authority. So we'll go and check and find out actually what Vidura did in Mahabharata and how he is different from today's leaders who have characters like, lust, ego, fear, anxiety, turmoil, all such things. Okay. No. Okay. We'll check that later. Then we will talk about that also. Okay, in this my most important decision, I decided to help discover the nature of India's true self in its children. My own work and indeed I am a person were relegated to the background. As a person were relegated. My scientific career, my teams, my awards, all of them became secondary. I wanted instead to be a part of this eternal intelligence that is India. Children are the eternal intelligence of India. So he wanted to bring a change in the next generation. So he started to address the children of India. He hoped to transcend myself and discover the inner higher self that is in us through my interaction with joyous children. A man is said to pass through different stages in his lifetime. Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, in his book Manifest Your Destiny, makes an interesting categorization of them as athlete stage, warrior stage, state person stage, and spirit stage. Manifest your destiny. There's a book written by Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. In that, he says there are 4 stages of man. Which is, first is athlete stage where you achieve things, then the warrior stage where you show off your achievement, then the state person stage, and the spirit stage. Spirit stages, you don't consider yourself, your country great, but you want to make others also great and you want to mentor them and they also become great. State person stages, you're more of like a warrior also, but still you are you want to develop others. It occurred to me that nations, the final spirit stages, you don't find a difference between you and others. There is no other. If others develop, it means that you too develop. That is the 4th stage or the final stage. It occurred to me that nations too make a similar transition in extending this analogy. This analogy means this kind of 4 stages. You can extend it to nations also. From people, from person, you can extend it to nations also. I have termed the last 2 stages Big Brother and self-realization stages respectively. Big Brother stage where you find out, look for talent, find out talent, develop talent. You are the head of the team and you try to develop your talent. Is the Big Brother stage or the state person stage. Okay, and then next is self-realization stages. Not only you and your team, you want everybody to develop. That is the self-realization stage. The stages do not follow in sequence necessary. They can be coexistent. Okay, one after the other, these stages will not appear all the time for a nation. They could be coexistent with one being dominant more than the other. In the first athlete stage, a nation fresh from an independent struggle. So this is another thing which he discusses here. We shall continue. It's already half an hour